O Lord of heaven and earth, not unto us, not unto us, but unto thy name be the glory. Grant me a heart that does not tremble before danger, and a mind that does not bend before fear. Strip from me the hunger for praise, and cleanse me of the desire for reward. Let my strength serve justice, not pride. Let my sword remain still, unless truth demands it be drawn. Teach me restraint in victory, and humility in power. When the road is dark and the night presses close, steady my breath and still my thoughts. Remind me that I walk not alone, but as a servant of thy will. If I must stand, let me stand firm. If I must fall, let me fall faithful. If I must suffer, let it purify me. If I must die, let it be in obedience, not anger. Guard my brothers beside me. Sharpen our discernment more than our blades. Bind us in discipline, loyalty, and silence, where silence is required. Make me an instrument of order in a fractured world, a watcher at the gate, a keeper of the narrow path. Into thy hands I place this day, this body, this vow, non nobis Domine, sed nomini tuo da gloriam. Not unto us, O Lord, but unto your name be the glory, a sentence that kneels even while it stands armed. The spiritual core. At its heart, the Templar motto is a vow of ego renunciation. The knight does not fight for personal fame, lineage, wealth, or even moral self-satisfaction. He becomes an instrument rather than an author. Action flows through him, not from him. Glory is deliberately redirected upward, away from the self, like light reflected off polished steel. This is not humility as posture or performance. It is humility as metaphysics, inner alchemy, not propaganda. Spiritually, the phrase encodes a radical inner discipline, the death of spiritual narcissism. Even holiness can inflate the self. The motto cuts that inflation at the root. No visions, victories, or virtues belong to me. Kenosis in armor. In Christian mysticism, kenosis means self-emptying. The Templar ideal is kenosis in motion. A man emptied of self becomes transparent to divine will, alignment with divine order. The knight does not decide what is glorious. He aligns with what already is. His task is obedience, clarity, and precision. The paradox of power. Here lies the quiet paradox. By refusing glory, the knight becomes formidably powerful. Ego weakens action. Self-interest fractures resolve. A will surrendered to something higher becomes unified, sharp, almost frighteningly calm. This is why the Templars frightened kings. A man who wants nothing for himself cannot be bribed. The inner knight. Read inwardly. The motto is not medieval at all. It is psychological and somatic. The nervous system releases its hunger for validation. The mind stops narrating itself as hero or victim. Action becomes clean, efficient, almost silent. In that silence, something greater moves. The final key, non nobis Domine, is not self-negation. It is self-placement. The self is not erased. It is correctly positioned. Like a sword that knows it is not the hand, like a hand that knows it is not the will, like a will that knows it is not the source. And so the knight walks forward, anonymous, precise, inwardly still. Victory may come, death may come. Glory never belongs to him anyway. Before dawn breaks over Jerusalem, the knight of the temple is already awake. His day does not begin with the sword, but with silence. In the cold half-light of the chapel, stone walls breathing centuries of prayer, he rises from his narrow bed. No luxury surrounds him, no personal possessions beyond what duty allows. His cloak hangs ready, white as vow and burden, marked by the red cross he did not choose lightly. The bell calls. He answers. Matins and lauds open the day. Psalms are chanted in measured cadence, voices low, steady, disciplined. The knight kneels beside men who are neither nobles nor peasants now, but brothers. Here, rank dissolves. Only obedience remains. Prayer is not ornament. It is alignment, a tuning of the will towards something higher than fear or ambition. When the prayers end, the body awakens. Armor is inspected, not polished for vanity, but checked for truth. Every strap, every buckle matters. A loose fastening can mean death. Weapons are maintained in silence. The sword is not a symbol here. It is a tool entrusted, never celebrated. The knight sharpens it with the same attention he gives his conscience. At first light, the gates open. Some knights ride patrols along pilgrim roads, scanning hills and shadows. Others guard fortifications, standing watch under the rising sun. Their presence alone often prevents violence. They are trained to observe before acting, to restrain before striking. Discipline defines them more than aggression. Midday brings labor and instruction. If not on duty, the knight works. He repairs walls, tends horses, carries supplies, trains with shield and lance. Training is relentless, not theatrical. Movements drilled until they require no thought. Strength is cultivated but never indulged. The body serves the vow, not the ego. A simple meal follows. Bread, legumes, occasionally fish. Meat is rare. Wine diluted. Conversation is permitted, but measured. Laughter exists, but excess does not. The rule governs even hunger. Eating is nourishment, not pleasure. After the meal, there is study. Scripture is read. The rule is reviewed. Older knights instruct younger ones in conduct, restraint, and remembrance. A Templar is taught that his greatest enemy is not the man across the battlefield, but disorder within his own soul. The afternoon returns him to duty. More patrols, more watch, more readiness. Heat presses down. Armor weighs heavier now. Fatigue whispers. This is where the vow proves real. Perseverance without applause. Faith without comfort. As the sun descends, Vespers gather the brothers again. Prayer closes the day as it opened it. Gratitude is offered not for victory, but for endurance. Confession is quiet, personal, honest. No knight believes himself pure, only accountable. Night falls. The cloak is folded, armor removed, weapons stored. Before sleep, the knight kneels once more, not to ask for glory, not even for survival, but to remain faithful tomorrow. He lies down knowing this truth. He is not a warrior who prays. He is a man of prayer who bears arms only because the world demands it. And when dawn comes again, he will rise, not as an individual, but as a vow made flesh. The path of theosis itself refers to what the Gospel calls the narrow gate. It is not a moral corridor, nor a social path, but a precise inner passage where division collapses. In Orthodox Christianity, theosis is not achieved by accumulation of virtue or belief. It unfolds through purification, stillness, and union. This movement corresponds exactly to the narrow gap spoken of by Christ. The gate is narrow because only what is unified can pass. Fragmentation cannot enter communion. This is why theosis also reveals the true meaning of ask, and you shall receive. Asking is not verbal petition. It is the condition of readiness. When the human will aligns with divine order, reception becomes inevitable. Grace is not granted as a reward. It is revealed when resistance ends. The same structure is expressed in the Hermetic principle, as above, so below. Heaven does not descend into chaos. It manifests where correspondence exists. When the inner world reflects divine coherence, the outer world reorganizes accordingly. The descent of grace follows alignment, not demand. The narrow gap, then, is the moment where above and below meet, where human nature ceases to oppose divine energy, where effort gives way to availability. Theosis is not a journey toward God. It is the removal of what prevents union. And when nothing stands in the way, asking and receiving become one and the same act.